Well, a little goes a long way, and yesterday a local philanthropic alliance celebrated a $10 million milestone. Here to talk about the power of collective giving is Sabeen Perwaiz, president of the Women's Giving Alliance. Welcome back, Sabeen.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And Wanda Willis, vice president of civic leadership at the Community Foundation for Northeast Florida. Hi, Wanda.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Good morning. And this is a big moment, Sabine. How did this idea of collective giving on the issue of kind of women begin in Northeast Florida?
So it started in 2001 with five trustees of the Community Foundation under the leadership of Andy Bell at the time. And it was Ann Baker, Doris Carson, Helen Lane, Courtney Wilson, and Dolores Barr Weaver. And they felt like women were underrepresented in philanthropy and wanted to do something about it. So they made sure women had a role to play and to be able to give back within their communities.
And so this began, the idea is that if you have a large enough group that is committed to giving even a small, relatively small amount on an annual basis, it adds up. And certainly yesterday shows that that's the case with this $10 million milestone. Um, so, raising money obviously is a big part of the goal. But as you say, it also was designed to empower female philanthropy and to give women, a leadership role in that.
Yeah, when they started, they were hoping that they would get maybe 20 people. And in that first period, they got 100 women to join. And they focused specifically on helping women and girls in Northeast Florida, which only gets about 2% of funding as organizations. And so focusing on the women in our community was also equally important.
And Wanda, what is the interaction? What's the relationship between this organization and the Community Foundation? I mean, how does the Women's Giving Alliance fit into the overall structure?
Sure. Just as Sabine shared earlier, those dynamic five women who came together to talk about starting a women's giving circle. The beauty of all of this is that this organization was started under our then president, Andy Bell, and has kept going through Nina Waters' leadership and certainly our current president, Isaiah Oliver. But our role with the Women's Giving Alliance is really a partnership. The Women's Giving Alliance is an initiative of the Community Foundation. And the value add is that we are able to assist with philanthropic leadership, with financial stewardship and support, and certainly helping to guide women into becoming strategic philanthropists.
Is the idea of collective giving sort of unique to the Women's Giving Alliance? Is that something that originated here? Is that just sort of something that they emulated?
So actually, the Giving Circles is really a movement across the country right now. The very first Giving Circle was founded in 1999, the Women's Fund in Washington, and it really is an opportunity for groups who think alike, like-minded women or men, to pool their resources and be able to make a greater impact. So it really is something around the country. But I will add that the Women's Giving Alliance here in our community is really a model for collective giving around the country.
And it hit this milestone yesterday, but as you were telling me earlier, there are a couple of other giving circles in this area. One that is focused on the beaches, one that is founded in the name of A.L. Lewis, who was a you know great entrepreneur here, also the founder of American Beach, and just sort of a local legend. Do you encourage people to create these giving circles? How difficult, how daunting of a task is it?
Well, that's a good question. I have the honor and privilege of leading all of the collective giving circles at the Community Foundation. And I really do enjoy having the opportunity to hear from people in the community. Most of these giving circles were started based on a need in a particular community, with the Women's Giving Alliance having the need to support and improve the lives of women and girls in Northeast Florida. And also with A.O. Lewis Black Opportunity and Impact Fund, about 5 years ago, 20 community volunteers got together and talked about what the needs are in underserved communities here in the Jacksonville community. And the same strategy with the beaches community. Friends, community stewards got together who live at the beach and saw a need for pooling their resources to really make sure that their community was thriving and that they were able to make community impact with their own personal resources.
Sabine, how is it that the group came up with its focus for the collective giving for this next grant cycle?
So we really lean into the strategic philanthropy element of our mission in that every 5 or 6 years, the organization conducts town halls of its members, looks at the community, talks to civic leaders, nonprofit leaders, and talks about what are the issues at hand and how can we uniquely play a role. So we did this process last year, and violence against girls, safety for women and girls came up as a really prevalent issue. Duval County has higher rates of sexual abuse, child abuse, and neglect than the rest of the state of Florida. State of Florida is third for sex trafficking and second in the U.S. for labor trafficking. And there has been an 87% increase in the crimes reported against women between 2011 and 2021. And so we just saw this again as our unique place in helping women and girls in our community and shedding light to a topic that is often uncomfortable to discuss. And we wanted to use our leadership to bring voice and light to this area so other organizations, other funders, other philanthropists can follow suit as well.
And this was a pretty competitive process. I mean, this was you've selected 10 nonprofits total, 5 of them large, 5 of them smaller, but that was out of 64 applicants. That's a lot.
Yeah, we had grants requests totaling $5.8 million.
Wow. This is going to stretch over a 2-year period. What is it that, I mean, is there anything that an average person can do if they're not part of this circle? And give us some idea, what the annual donation is from the people who are members of this giving circle.
Yeah. So one thing I would say is anyone is welcome to donate to the Women's Giving Alliance. They don't have to contribute our annual membership dues. So if they feel compelled by the focus area, they're more than welcome to help. Our annual dues are $1,500 a year, and we welcome any and all women in the Northeast Florida community to join and be part of a collective movement. I think for me, as one of the younger members, it's really important that folks don't see philanthropy as something that only a Dolores Weaver can do. We love her, but she's the reason I got started. She started the Fellows Program to encourage more women under 40 to join by subsidizing the membership so that we could slowly ramp in. And now I've been a member for 10 plus years. And so philanthropy comes in all shapes and sizes. It is not just for the ultra wealthy, and this makes it accessible for all.
Right. And so this is a donation that is a little more than $100 a month. It is the kind of thing that for, people in the professional world might be within their reach. How, when she talks about a program that sort of like helps ramp up people's participation, does that still exist? A way to kind of seed participation for people who may not necessarily have the resources at hand?
Yeah, it absolutely does. In addition to being able to give to the collective giving initiative, there are also opportunities for women and other folks in our community to learn about the nonprofits that serve our community. So WGA really finds ways to educate the community on where the needs are. And if you're not able to donate, then you can perhaps volunteer for some of those nonprofits. So there's opportunity for engagement at many levels.
And in addition to the people who are benefiting from these grants, there are also sometimes some programs that people in the community can actually participate in. I know that in August, there's an event about staying safe online, which is one of the focus areas of the grants. But this is something that ordinary people can sign up and attend.
Almost all of our events are open to the public. We have connectors in our neighborhoods where members are encouraged to bring a guest. We just had our member forum yesterday. We have our annual meeting in October. Guests are welcome to attend all. And as Wanda mentioned, we put on a handful of educational events throughout the year focusing on the focus area. And those are open to the community and often don't have a fee associated with it.
Are there any recipients of grants that you think you'd like to highlight just from this year's awards?
This was the first year that we did 1-year grants for smaller organizations. We really wanted to make sure those smaller organizations with smaller budgets had ability to access our grant pool. And one that comes to mind is Silent Women Speaking Foundation. They specifically help moms who've lost a child to gun violence and provide them with wraparound services to overcome that. I'm personally also excited about the Jewish Family and Community Services Program, who's launching a new program in Baker County that is something that we're excited about, has not been done before.
And I was curious too. I noticed that there's something called the Rakad Dance Camp. How does that address the needs of women and girls?
So they are specifically looking at a summer camp for girls 5 and older, which enhances self-confidence and leadership. So we have 4 buckets, and one of which is prevention. And this really lends into how do we make sure young women are confident, comfortable, know their value and worth so that they are not prone or susceptible to violence that may be coming their way.
Well, Sabeen, Perwaiz, Wanda Willis, thank you so much for being here. Congratulations on this huge milestone.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
All right.